Well, that worked.
Well, at least I know what it feels like to get a flail rebounded into my hand now.
Hi, it's Todd from Todd's Workshop. I'm Todd Cutler here, and I am with...
Matt Easton, Schola Gladiatoria.
For another Weird Weapons. It's a really simple premise. I'm good at making stuff, Matt's good at using it, I make it, he uses it, we both talk about it. And he has no idea what is under the blanket. So here we go. It appears that we both have an interest in these.
Oh yeah, it's another flail.
It's another flail.
That's a little one. Oh,
It is a little one.
It's quite light, that one.
Ah, well.
I like that, yeah.
Oh, that's a very good start. So, here's the little bit before we get on to melon time. They're not fantasy. They're not just computer game stuff. They really were there, and there's lots of them in the artwork, in manuscripts, and a few in museums. The ones in museums are often, people assume that they might be 19th century reproductions or whatever, but they were really there. And I found a guy, link in the notes, wrote a fantastic paper on flails. I found it when I was looking for single chain flails with a single spiky ball, the classic comedy film flail. And a lot of them had multiple chains.
They're very cute.
Very cute.
Yeah.
So should we find out if the melon finds them cute?
Yeah.
So this is your practice melon,
Right.
pre-used from previous film. And then if you're a good boy, Matt, we'll get onto the fresh melons.
I'll get a fresh melon. They make nice toilet pulls.
Well, that worked. Sorry, the giggling in the background is our guest, Drac. He's got another YouTube channel as well, so go check him out. Link in the notes. You were a good boy, it appears. You'll get another melon.
Yeah, well, I've been putting in my flail time and it's paid off. I'm gradually getting more au fait with these. No, I love flails, actually. More over time, especially since the Manguel that we did. I'm a fan of multiple chains and heads.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Because it gives you a bit of a spread, but also I like the fact that these are small and relatively light, because I think a lot of people have a tendency of putting a too big of a weight on the end, and it just makes them way too unwieldy. It feels a bit like swinging an axe. So it feels like a top-heavy weapon, but it's not, you know, it's not over the top. It's controllable. And I really like the big links on these chains. They look like they would get tangled less.
It may well be the case. And what you often see on museum, or often you sometimes see on museum things as well, is that the links will be different. You know, that might be a figure eight, that might be straight. Some of them will have a crossbar or a little spiky bit.
Yeah.
So there is lots more to do on flails. As you will see, if you go follow the links and go and check out this paper that I found about flails, there is so much to keep me entertained there.
I also love how kind of like compact they are. I won't say concealable, but I imagine that, you know, a lot of people walking in city streets at night, to travellers and stuff, that would, because it's essentially the length of a truncheon, isn't it? But you've suddenly got a heck of a lot more, and impact force.
Yeah, very much. So one thing to note on this, again, is that common thing that people talk about with flails, that it's going to come back and hit your hand.
Yeah.
You have a very defined grip area here. You know where the right point to grip is and the wrong point. And the chains, of course, don't reach you.
But with the Manguel, it's the opposite. They're longer, so they would go past your hand, kind of thing. Yeah.
Wrap around your arm and knock your elbow off.
But in all honesty, if you use them in the correct way, it tends not to come back towards the shaft anyway.
Yes. So we have also some mail and a shield here, so we're going to have a look at that. But before we do that, I think we have to second melon it.
Okay, let's go for the fresh melon.
That was a very clean one. Did you hit with the weights or the chain, do you know?
I think the weights, they're covered in juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt different to the other one, but I couldn't tell you exactly why. It could just be that this is a whole melon rather than a half melon. But it felt solid. It felt like those hit as one lump, whereas maybe before they were a bit more spread out.
I think it's an interesting thing we've seen with flails before as well, and maybe we'll have a go with this chap in a minute.
Yeah.
When they strike something, then they start to move.
Yeah.
And so if it strikes you on the shoulder, for instance, one might hit you there, but the other one might come up the back of your head or something.
Yeah.
It's interesting weapons. They're endlessly doing things that you don't quite expect.
Yeah.
I've interrupted this film because I need to tell you how much I love making these three-chain flails. They are fantastic. But the thing is, you might enjoy that too, because they're not that hard to make. So I've put together a full set of plans, which are available on the website, that show you every component in it. So you've got a full complete assembly. Well, it's nothing exciting there. But then you've got all of the components, things like the weights here and the handle, and then you've got all the chain links and everything else. All of the pieces that you need to make one of these fantastic flails. All there on the website, waiting for you. Get at it. Nice. Lovely stuff.
Bit warm.
Been out in the sun all day.
And got some grass on it.
Fantastic.
And obviously, I mean, a lot of these top-heavy percussive weapons were specifically aimed at heads. And I think being hit, helmet or no helmet, you know, I know people who've been hit by just sticks hard in helmets, in completely historically accurate helmets, and it can be really, really unpleasant. So being hit by something like that, by, you know, very similar to a mace or a warhammer, but with a little bit more, perhaps acceleration, but a little bit more unpredictability, harder to block, that kind of stuff.
Well, it's time to find out if Cedric, or whatever his name is today,
Is he French?
Oh, I don't know. Of course he's not French. He's unspecified British enemy of the 15th century. English enemy, sorry.
Called Cedric.
Well, actually, let's leave that, because that will fall off. So let's just see what it does.
Well, I could do the melon and then the body. I could try. I try a trick shot.
Overhead down on top.
No, I'll try and take the head off and then come around for the body.
Oh, I quite like the idea of the overhead.
You want me to just come down on the top of it? Okay.
Okay, when you're ready, Matt.
Oh, skimmed it. We can probably rig that one up again. I felt like that was only one of the weights, kind of doing a...
Matt,
That
was indecent. That was fantastic.
That's fantastic, isn't it? What fun. You know, helmet or no helmet, that would be really unpleasant, wouldn't it, to the head? So.
Yeah. Strike him on the body, strike him on the shoulder, strike. I just want to see, especially in slow-mo, we'll capture it on that.
Yeah.
Just how they interact. Do they spread apart?
Yeah.
Do they bounce about?
I tell you, that hit my hand. That was.
Oh.
I thought that might be a risk. Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's fine. It skinned me slightly. So it was a rebound because I did that.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go. Lesson learned. Well, at least I know what it feels like to get a flail rebounded into my hand now.
Ouch.
I feel like I got the weights more central to the chest that time.
It's a bit hard to
Oh
see,
yeah,
isn't it?
but, yeah. I mean, I don't think it'd be
Whatever.
It'd
No,
be
but
very unpleasant underneath.
I was watching a bit of slow-mo footage before that Alex shot.
Yeah.
And you can see that the chest is denting in.
I mean, there's broken
it's
ribs. Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. I think, could you try and strike
Yeah.
sort of onto his shoulder?
Good.
Yeah. Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, that felt like it went in quite a way.
Well, I don't know what there is to say about that, other than that was pretty devastating. Matt, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it would be horrendous to be hit by, wouldn't it? And then we looked at sort of the chest, which probably would have resulted in broken bones, maybe sternum. Obviously up here, broken collarbone. So the mail is kind of irrelevant. It's not really protecting the person at all.
Stopping bits getting chopped off.
Yeah.
But
And you know, the fact that you've got a pretty decent reach with these things. So a lot of maces and axes are about that long, but you've got, I mean, that would be very long for a fighting axe, really. So you've got a sword length reach, and all of that impact is right at the tip as well, whereas swords tend to hit further down than the tip. So it's a good, cheap, effective, hard-hitting weapon that's easy to conceal or carry. We see these looped through belts sometimes. You can carry it as a backup to something else.
very uncomplicated to make in the sense of a sword is really quite a specialist piece of manufacture.
Yeah.
And that's why the village blacksmith wasn't the same guy who made the swords or the daggers around the house. Whether a village blacksmith would make that, I'd say probably not. But a village blacksmith could make that.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, perhaps in some places that sometimes these were repurposed from something else as well. I mean, certainly chain, obviously people were making chain for all sorts of things. So
I loved making it. I love seeing you using it. I love the effect of it. Hit, win.
yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of flails, and personally, although the sort of two sticks articulated are the more historically common type, I find them in a way the most boring type. I really like these because there's something unpredictable and exciting and exotic about them.
Yeah, well, don't be surprised if there's another flail in your weird weapons box at some point. But in all seriousness, I do want to make a rack of these, and I'll invite you down and we'll
Awesome.
play with
We'll have a flail
10 of them. Epic flail. Here we go. Had to use that somewhere. Thank you very much. But Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure as always.
Yeah.
So obviously we've both got YouTube channels as well. I've got Todd's Workshop, Todd Cutler. You've got...
Schola Gladiatoria, check it out.
And do you have a website, Matt?
Yeah, well, if you just search for Schola Gladiatoria, but I've got various websites, yeah.
You'll find them interesting, as I do as well, and Patreon pages. So anyway, any of that lot, come down, check it out. You will find what we sell. Very interesting indeed. But Matt, thank you again. Thank you for watching. Flails. Love them.